Hello there. What's going on, everybody? Emperor Palpatine. They had a release article for Star Wars Legion. We're going to talk about Palpatine today. A lot of stuff that we can talk about because this guy is going to be absolutely incredible. So very, very excited to talk about Palpatine today. Let's jump right in. But before we do that, I do want to remind you guys I am doing a huge holiday giveaway right now where you can win a Super Star Destroyer for Star Wars Armada in the form of a cool stuff gift card, which you could probably just turn around and use for whatever you want. You don't have to get a Super Star Destroyer with it. Only thing you need to do to enter to win that is become a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. I will announce the winner for that on or about the 21st or so of December, so just in time for Christmas. That'll be a big exciting. This is actually the biggest giveaway I've ever done. So I'm going to be reminding you guys from now until then. Plenty of time to get into the game, but you do have to be a subscriber. You do have to click that bell for alerts so you can get notified. You don't want to miss when the winner is announced. Plus, plenty of new spoilers and articles and all kinds of really cool stuff is coming out. So this is a big. November is going to be a big month. December is going to be a big month for gaming. A lot of cool stuff. All right. So let's talk about Palpatine because we got a lot of information to talk about here. So this is kind of cool. They give us a nice little 3D rendering of his sculpt. He honestly is not, the sculpt leaves a little to be desired. I mean, it's a good sculpt. I just was hoping for a different pose. Which, to be fair, wouldn't necessarily be all that awesome, right? Like, that's what he does. He just kind of walks around. Like, I would love to see him like crazy lightning, like ultimate Palpatine, like one hand on the ground, the other hand up, like summoning lightning like Thor, but that wouldn't really be thematic. So I get why they went with this sculpt. It's just awfully similar to the Imperial Assault version that we already have. Would have at least like both hands out or doing something like that. But it is what it is. But so now you know what to look like. It definitely looks like there's going to be more detail on this guy than on the Imperial Assault version because he's a little bit bigger. So that's cool. We do get let's talk about his card. Let's zoom in a little closer here. So 210 points, incredibly expensive for this guy, incredibly expensive, but I think he'll be worth it. I think this is going to be a character that gives you so much. I think he's going to be so fun to play, and also I think he can be very competitive as well. A lot of it depends on how you build around him. So talk about everything. So he's got the command upgrade. He's got 3 force upgrades. A lot of stuff there. His weapon is Force Lightning. It can be used in melee or range 1 to 2. So this can be both a melee and a ranged weapon, depending on if you're in base contact with somebody or not. He has 2 red, 2 black, and 2 white. So good dice pool for 1 miniature. Very strong. All right, so that's good. He's got Pierce 2 and Suppressive on there. So if he does shock somebody, they're going to get 2 suppression tokens, unless of course he rolls all blanks. But you're at least going to get that 1. That much is good. He's speed 1 though. That's the biggest weakness with this guy. He's only speed 1. He's going to be going kind of slow. But with the red defense die, which is awesome, he has defensive surge and offensive surge to crit. So his surges are perfect. He's going to be like one of the hardest units in the game to kill, right? He's got only 5 health though, so he can't really take that many hits. But 4 courage. Now the courage is a big deal. You're not going to make Palpatine run away. It's almost not going to happen. Almost impossible to happen. But maybe there's ways. If you're hitting him with suppressive stuff, it's in theory possible he might do a tactical retreat. Lord Vader, it is time for us to leave this battlefield. Let the rebels have their victory. We shall return to plan, and then we'll stop at Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so, but his abilities are really what makes him awesome. So, Master of the Force 2, I'm starting from the bottom because I'm working my way up. Master of the Force 2 is awesome. It means he can reuse 2 Force abilities. So, if he wants to get free evade tokens, if he wants to Force choke people, whatever Force abilities they make, he's going to be able to reset 2 of them a turn. That makes him very strong. Immunity to Pierce, again, another thing that makes him incredibly hard to kill. He's immune to Pierce, red die, and defensive surge. So hard to kill this guy, which is why he only has 5 health. If you're able to get that damage through, then he could drop fairly quickly, but it's just you're not going to get that damage through, right? Entourage Royal Guards. So when you're building an army, ignore the rank of one Royal Guards unit. During a command phase, you may issue an order to a friendly Imperial Guards unit at range 1 to 2. Entourage is huge because, first off, now you can have 4 special forces. When it says ignore the rank of one special Royal Guard unit, it means you're ignoring the rank against your army limit count. So if you were to already run, 3 special forces, he gets to bring another one and break the rules. Entourage is really cool. Plus, he's automatically giving that guy an order every turn, which is awesome. And the Royal Guards like to get orders anyway. And also there's that force upgrade that you can put on to give yourself the ability to ignore. Like when you would give an order, you can issue it to anybody. You can use that with here, and then you can issue an order to anybody. However, I like Entourage. They have to be range 1 to 2. You want to keep them close, which makes sense thematically. The Royal Guards should stay close to their Emperor, right? So that's fine. And 1 to 2 is not even that close, but he's slow, so in theory they could outpace him pretty quickly. But then his top ability, this one is so good. Pulling the strings. Choose a friendly trooper unit at range 1 to 2. That unit may perform a free attack action or a free move action. First off, that's an action. They're doing an action, which could, in theory, trigger other things. Think of snowtroopers, right? Snowtroopers are like, oh, move? Okay, oh, look at that. We got to attack also. Boom. Craziness, right? Vader. Imagine Palpatine and Vader. Oh, Vader's going to move. Oh, Vader's got relentless. He's going to move and throw his saber. Oh, he's going to move into that, into your ATST and chop it in half. Insanity. Or just a free attack action. Now, I will admit, the first time I read this card, I missed the keyword trooper on there. So I was thinking, I'm like, oh man, I could just put Palpatine next to an ATST and have it, shoot with Vice, exhaust Vice, shoot, recover, and have Palpatine make it shoot again. But you can't do that because ATST is not a trooper. But maybe you could do it with Boba Fett, right? I think it'd be really cool with Vader. I think it's cool with snowtroopers. I think it's cool with just about anybody. It's just awesome. I dig it, man. Maybe an E-Web, very, very cool stuff. And because they're doing the attack during Palpatine's activation, that also gets as another way to get around those whole cumbersome things. So, yeah, Palp that's good. However, pulling the strings is a double-edged sword. Because it's so good, you're going to be wanting to take advantage of those extra attacks because those extra attacks are great. But here's the thing. His attack is great, but he's only speed 1. So unless you start out like really close to other dudes, or like ideally for Palp, you want to be able to attack and then make somebody else attack, right? Like that's how I think you get like the best bang for your buck. But at speed 1, how often are you going to be able to do that? So it really puts you into this peculiar situation of, do I move or do I maybe do a double move to try to get into the battle, or do I have my other guys move? Maybe I give somebody else a free move. Maybe I've got a speeder bikes. I give them a free move, then they can do their compulsory, and then move. Like there's so many different things that you can do with pulling the strings. And the fact that it's Palpatine at speed 1 and with that kind of attack, his actions, you're paying so much at that 210 point cost, plus whatever else you dump into him, for that ability to to do those actions. It's just you got to really think twice if you're going to move with Palpatine, but you have to move at some point, right? So that balance of, do I move, do I pulling the strings is going to be really interesting. And I think it gives just this unit by itself, it gives him multiple ways that you can play him. You can play him more as a support, letting other people shoot, or you can play him more as that attacker who's going to try the slow-moving, almost in similar to Darth Vader, that slow-moving threat that once they get in position, very, very difficult to kill. I dig it. He comes with another anger here, another force upgrade, dark side only. I love the art on this, very Rogue One, all right? 5 points only, and after you suffer 1 or more wounds, gain an aim token. Very cool ability if you're going late. Very nice if you're able to control when you're going to attack. This also could potentially be one of those things you put on Darth Vader and have Vader maybe go, and then, oh, after he gets shot, after he's already gone, Palp is like, oh, attack again, but now you get these aim tokens because you got shot. But I think a bigger use for anger is it's going to combo with Palp's command cards, which we'll take a look at as well. They did give us some good command cards for Palpatine, and the command cards now are starting to become one of those things that really help justify the cost of of taking a character that's so expensive. I think there have been some characters that had some decent command cards and some not so decent, but Palps are great. And it's so great, in fact, that I think his 3-pip is the least impressive. An entire Legion. It doesn't have any special stuff, but he can activate each eligible unit. He can activate everybody, assuming they're in range. So that's what eligible unit means. If they can be given an order by him, you do it. This means like comm jammer would still potentially work. People that are far away, maybe snipers that are off in the distance, might not work. If Palp is moving too slow and people get too far ahead, they might be out of range. But that range 3 is pretty good. Or if you want to extend them to range 4, perhaps through upgrades, you could do that. But I mean, that's a great card. It's giving you full battlefield control. This type of command card is not maybe one you want to include if you're using lots of expensive, like if you're running Palp and Vader together, you're probably not even bringing an entire Legion to the game. You're probably running like bare bones stuff. So this is one that you can probably do without. But if you're running Palp by himself and you are trying to make use of a lot of different units, some cheaper stormtroopers to get a lot of guys out there, it's a great way to give you full battlefield control. Again, we're getting to the point where I don't always bring everybody's command cards, all of the command cards, just in case, for that fear that I do lose a unit. I like to bring some generics. So this could be one that you pass, but it's still a really good one on its own, because a generic 3-pip gives you 3 guys that you can give an activation to. He's going to get everybody, so it's not going to be worse than a 3-pip. The only way it would be worse than a 3-pip is if for some reason you cannot use Palpatine to activate this, i.e. Palp is dead. So, good card, but I really like this one. Give in to your anger. This one might be my favorite. It's a 2-pip, so 2-pip is good. You have a pretty good chance of going first with a 2-pip. Before an opponent would activate their first unit, you may choose an enemy trooper unit. If you do, your opponent must activate that unit instead. Assign it an order token from its order pool unless it has a face-up order token. At the end of that unit's activation, if it did not perform an attack, it gains 4 suppression tokens. Okay, that's a mouthful. First off, before your opponent would activate their first unit. So, I want to give you guys, like, this card is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I love the artwork there, too. He's like, I will crush you. I will crush you with my little hands. Come here, Yoda. I will crush you too. I will crush you in my little hand. All right, Yoda. I don't know what I'm talking about, Yoda. Get out of here, Yoda. So even if you lose the bid on this one, you still kind of get to go first. So you get to dictate what happens first. Your opponent, let's say they play Han's 0-pip, and Hans shoots first. And they're like, oh, they give the order to Han. And they're going to come in and try and shoot Palpatine right away, okay? And you're like, no. Before you activate Han, I'm going to target that rebel trooper all the way over there. Actually, you have to activate them first. So I choose, if I'm Palp, I choose who you activate first. They have to be a trooper, is the only thing. So, first off, that's huge. Because then, after you're done, then I get to go. So, I'm still kind of going first, at least, as it... Effectively, this guarantees I can go first. Now, if they played a 3-pip, this almost gives me 2 in a row. So I might go Palpatine first, shock your guy. Oh, now it's your turn. You're going after me because you played a 3-pip or something. Then you activate. And I'm like, no, I still get to do it then because then that's your first unit. So that's huge. The other thing that's also cool about this, maybe you play this on the first turn, depending on the deployment. Maybe somebody's like kind of deployed somebody far in the back. I can just say, oh, no, your guy all the way back there in the corner, you have to activate him first. Oh, and since he's too out of range of being able to attack, he's going to end up getting 4 suppression tokens. I mean, maybe disarray. You have the commander in one place and somebody else over there. They're out of range. They're going to panic. They're going to run away. I mean, that's just 4 suppression tokens to somebody is no joke. Or maybe you want to force them to take to take an attack. Maybe Vader, you're running Palp and Vader. Maybe Vader's got that dodge token, right? And Vader's maybe Vader's going to deflect it back at them. But now they're like, crap. Do I attack or do I get to force suppression? So much control this gives. This is literally like the theme behind this card is brilliant. This is giving Palpatine the ability to just control and manipulate the battlefield. And I love this card. I think it's so cool. And in this 1 pip, and now you will die. So be it, Jedi. Oh, this one. This one is nasty. But again, it's not necessarily always going to work because you have to be in range to attack, and at that 1 speed, it might not happen. But when it does, it's going to be amazing. While this may not be my favorite one, I like the 2 pip the best because of the control. This one is definitely the most powerful and the most threatening. During Emperor Palpatine's activation, he may suffer 1 wound and gain 1 suppression token to perform an attack. He may do this any number of times. After Emperor Palpatine performs an attack, the defender gains an immobilized token. So it's not an attack action. So he still gets to do his attack action as normal. Then he can use this ability. So he can attack. He's got 5 wounds, right? So he can attack, take a wound, attack again, take a wound, attack again, take a wound, attack again, take a wound. He's got 4 wounds now, 5 attacks. He can attack 5 times. I mean, he'll be almost dead by that point. That's the threat that Palpatine represents. This is the card you always take. Now, that's insane. Now, you've seen you saw his dice, right? Dude has, let's go back. Dude has 6 dice. And suppressive. So not only he's taking a suppression too, so he's gonna, that's the time he might run away, is if he suppresses the heck out of himself, and has to, so he would need 8. It's insanity. It's just sick how much, but you have to be in range 2. Now, and you'd have to be in range 2 of potentially 5 targets, or maybe the same target multiple times if you don't kill him the first time. This is it's a game changer, folks. It really is. Plus, it's got Pierce on there too. Really, really strong. And then it immobilizes people also, so you don't even have to. The immobilized token is nice too. That slows somebody down, stops objective play. You got Luke Skywalker, you got Boba Fett out there flying around trying to take objective tokens. You just can say, oh, well, I'm going to do this mid-game. Stop, freeze Boba where he is. I don't even have to do it 5 times. Maybe I'll just do it like 3 times. And the thing is, after he performs an attack, so you can do that without even taking damage. Just on your first attack, you still gain that effect of giving them an immobilized token. Really, really nice. You do 3 of those to Boba Fett, he's not going anywhere. So, love it. Love this card. The threat of it is huge. Now, how do you stop Palpatine? Look at this card. This is also his weakness, right? He's so certain of himself. I'm going to get you with these 5 attacks. Every single wound you're able to do to Palpatine during the game, granted he's hard to hit. He's immune to Pierce. He's got that red defense die and defensive surge. He's hard to hit. But every wound you can do to him stops his ability to do 1 more attack against you. So, and it's frustrating going after somebody's commander and only getting 2 wounds on him. Well, now, all of a sudden, if you get 2 wounds on him, that means at best he can attack you 3 times with this. Okay? If you get 3 wounds on him, he can only attack twice. So, wounding him is incredibly important. That's why, A, he's got this huge defense. But B, it encourages you to take those shots even if you don't kill him, because that weakens him. If you get 4 wounds on him, his 1 pip is so much less of a threat. So that's huge. And I think as a Palpatine player, that's all the more reason to bring Royal Guards with you. Because somebody attacks you, just to have the guards take it first. It's not even worth, unless, now they have Guardian 2, so, they can take up to 2 hits. So if somebody rolls 3 hits, have the guard. You're gonna have to roll against 1, but have the guards take the first 2. Don't even chance it with Palpatine if you don't have to, because if you, you have a chance. You have what, like 2 blanks, I think, on the red die. You could take damage, and each one really neuters you. So it's much more valuable to have your Royal Guards take the hammer down. The Royal Guards actually have worse defense because they don't have the defensive surge. But Palpatine's like, it's not worth it. My health is way too valuable. 210 point unit right here, plus upgrades. Could be way more than that. So that's my suggestion. Run Palp with guards. Use the guards Guardian to guard Palp, and keep him alive. Keep him completely undamaged until the end, and then watch him explode like a nuclear bomb. That's what I think, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you disagree with me about Palpatine? Do you think he might not? Do you think he's too expensive to run at all? I think he'd be great to run with a lot of troops and some Royal Guards and maybe some other special forces, a bunch of stormtroopers, a trooper-heavy list, do the whole entire Legion thing. I think less competitively, he'd be fun to run with Vader in very, very, very few units. I think that would be a fun list to run, while might not be tournament winning because you might not have the bodies to go capture objectives. It would be super cool. And I think Legion is a great game to play for fun as well as being competitive, because you get these beautiful miniatures, you get these awesome thematic effects, tell a story while you're playing, have a good time. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to all my patrons on Patreon. Look for the winner to that big X-Wing promo giveaway that is going to be posted today as well. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.